Welcome back to Here's Next Door. Thank you all for joining us today. We're at the Little Creek Fire Department and we're taking a look at a very special truck. The reason for that is because this is a hazmat truck that does decon. A station rigs that you've never seen anywhere else, and this is part of their hazmat rescue team. This is a first and a one-off. Let's go take a look. So we're gonna meet back up with the deputy chief. He's Steve, and we've talked to him before. If you haven't seen our videos before, definitely go back and take a look at those. Steve, thank you for taking us back down here and taking a look at this truck.
No problem.
I did a walk around with our station cribs, saw this truck, and I was really excited to take a look at this. This is a very unique vehicle, something that I've never seen on any other YouTube channel across the board, and I really want to know more about it.
Okay, so in the state of Delaware, we're one of the decon stations for the state, and particularly Kent County. So the state of Delaware has DNREC, which is their natural resources. They respond out to mitigate the hazardous material, and we go in to decon them or anybody else who needs to be deconned. So this is a brand new truck to us. It was delivered at the end of 2024, so it's really brand new. So it's basically a big mobile shower in the back.
Okay, but it's on an international chassis, right?
That's correct. It's an international chassis. It was built by EVI down in Florida. Cool factoid about it. This truck is actually modeled after, I believe it was 11 of them that they built for Saudi Arabia. So they parked them at hospitals and used them at hospitals for decon in Saudi Arabia.
Right, that's pretty cool to see. And up front in the cab, this is pretty much your standard international cab set up as a fire truck. I assume it's got all the lights and sirens to get to the scene, right?
That's correct. It's set up just like an international cab, like any other fire truck. We have our own CAD system in here, our 800 radio system in here. We have two portables up here for the driver and the officer. We also have two jump seats in the rear of the truck, so we can take two people with us, and we have headsets so we can communicate back and forth.
Okay, that makes sense. Can we take a look at, all the compartments on the outside and how this thing actually functions?
Absolutely.
So I got to tell you just a little bit of a story about some of my background. In 2005, Katrina came through Louisiana, and everybody from across the nation helped out as best we could. Pennsylvania sent down, I think, 32 trucks. We ended up in a parking lot very similar to this for 2 weeks. And the challenge thing was, how do you keep clean? How do you all that kind of stuff? We actually did some hazmat response into the parishes to try to do some recoveries and stuff like that. And we needed something like this. The only time I've ever seen this was from a FEMA trailer. So the fact that a local fire company has stepped up to the plate and says, hey, we can do this. We have the capability, we have the staffing, we're gonna do this, is pretty cool to see. And the other thing is, it's a very unique truck. It's not what you would typically think as a fire truck. It doesn't have all the water, it doesn't have all that kind of stuff, but it is a valuable tool.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, we run statewide for any hazmat, like a gas or some release or something. Not so much the petroleum based like fuel leaks, but for the nervous system toxins or anything like that.
Sure.
We're the guys that are going out with the DNREC units like we talked about that are showering people off or mass decon. We can do it all.
Right, and shortly after 9/11, these things became very valuable too, because we were getting a lot of those anthrax scares.
That's actually how we got into it. We got a trailer, a 30-foot trailer before this, that this replaced, and that's what we were doing just after 9/11, all the anthrax scares. That trailer was in Legislative Hall in Dover, all over, up and down the state doing anthrax scares.
Yeah, and I remember those very well. I was working actually in Lansdale at the time, and we responded to a bunch of them, and it's an ordeal. And so the fact that you guys took on this task is really, really awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's open the doors and see how this one works.
All right, so we have a PTO generator on board. We also have water heaters on board. The water heaters have to run off of something.
Okay.
So we have liquid propane tanks right here. They feed the water heaters on board. That's their sole purpose.
So I'm not taking a freezing shower.
Nope. We used to have a motto, cold showers are always free.
Yeah.
We have heaters now. Right here, we have two different ways to plug the truck in. This is your standard Kuzma auto eject system. So it charges the truck when it's parked.
Yep.
When you start it, it ejects. We also have kind of like an RV plug here. So if it's going to be somewhere for an extended period of time and we don't want to run the truck the whole time, If there's a big enough plug, we can plug it in, shut the truck off, and it'll run off that plug.
Right, and I've seen those actually for those portable generators, the big ones that even construction uses.
Exactly.
That's exactly the same kind of plug that
Yes,
they
sir.
use. You can plug it into that and let it run all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's cool. This is the door to get in it,
Yep.
right?
Yep. You want to do that now?
Let's do the outside compartment and we'll come back and do
All
the
right.
inside.
We have a couple fold down compartments right here. Right here, you're getting into 5-gallon buckets. We use these for a lot of cleaning operations. So we have soap that we put in there, mix it with water. We also have a small wet dry vac. So if we need to vacuum up anything, we can, and a mopping bucket for cleaning up the inside.
Sure.
Something pretty cool about this truck, we're able to do decon on the exterior of the truck, not only inside.
Okay.
So right here we have 2 shower heads.
Just pull the pins.
Pull the pins, let it fold.
So this would be more your dirty decon.
Dirty decon, or if we need to decon a lot of people at once.
Okay.
We have an awning right here that comes down, kind of give you some protection.
Okay.
And have people walk straight through. And of course, just like a shower at home, you got your on and off. You can control it right there.
Right.
Keep going around the back. Down here, you have your wheel chocks and a gray water tank discharge.
Yep.
So this
it's an RV.
Yeah, it's an RV. So this truck doesn't carry any water with it. We rely on engines or a hydrant or something to provide us water.
Okay.
But as it being a decon truck, we have to collect that water when it comes off of people.
Yeah.
So we have a water tank on the bottom of the truck, and we have one plug right there, one on the other side, so we can get rid of the dirty water.
Right.
And either if it's deemed safe, we can let it go naturally, or we can pump it into some type of vessel and get rid of it.
Okay. Okay. So that's your typical black water versus gray water that you would normally have at a campsite.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Right here we have our suits, our hazmat suits. We have boots, gloves, suits, all that fun stuff that we have to don.
Looks like every different size that you need.
Absolutely.
Are these Class A hazmat suits?
B and C.
Okay.
So we don't use Class A. That's the DENREC part of it.
Okay.
They'll actually go in and mitigate it. But we'll use the B and C suits and different respirators depending on what the toxin is.
So it's a step-down process.
Yes.
They'll go in, they get that full contamination, say if they do. They're going to come out, they'll do a dirty wash here, but you're going to suit up because if whatever they brought with them comes back here, you want to be protected,
Absolutely.
and that's what that's for.
Yep, absolutely.
That makes sense.
We have one of these on each side. It's basically a laundry chute. So if somebody's contaminated, they go inside, they can doff their clothing.
Yeah.
And we'll have a bag right here. They just throw it into the bag. We can tie it up. It's sealed. Good to go.
That's awesome.
Right?
Okay. Now you got a big step off the back.
Big step off the back. You have 2 different sides. It's the same on each side, so you can do a male and female if the need arises.
Okay.
Or you can just send multiple people through at once.
So do you start from this side and go out the front, or do you start from the front and come out the back?
You start from the back and go out the front.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And we'll take a look at that in just a little bit. We'll open those doors and walk our way through if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. And then on this side?
This side's the same. We have a laundry chute right there.
Okay. Laundry chute. I need that in my house.
Right. In this bag, we have a quick decon shower that's outside. So it's basically a bunch of PVC pipe that creates a shower, and it just clicks together with these quick connects.
Yeah, yeah.
And it sprays you all around, so you just walk in, twirl around.
I've seen those on the regular fire trucks that do kind of decon stuff, that they may have it hooked to a tower or something like that, and they're going to go ahead and hook those up. So this is very familiar to me.
Yes, yep.
Yep.
A manifold for our water supply, so we have 1 3/4 inch going in, and then we have garden hoses coming out, so the different decon steps. I talked about the gray water tank. We also have capabilities to pump it off if we don't want a gravity flow it.
Okay.
So we can pump it off into a vessel like I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, and that just looks like a pool pump.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Genius. Absolutely genius.
Absolutely. This compartment here, kind of like your engineer's compartment. 1 3/4 hand line, different fittings. We have small pumps, so if we need to pump out one of our decontamination pools, we can pump it out. Like I said, this unit doesn't carry any fresh water on it, so we're relying on water from either a hydrant or another pumper to give us water, and they do that through right here. So all they have to do is supply us an 1 3/4 hand line,
Okay.
and we open the valve, and we got water.
We got water. Okay.
Yep.
So about how quickly can you get this thing into operation?
This one is pretty quick. It's a lot quicker than our trailer used to be. You know, 5 minutes maybe.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
That's awesome. You got 2 doors here.
Yep. So this is that same door you saw on the other side. This is our crew compartment, our after you get decon compartment so they can get dressed.
Okay.
Right here is basically our utility closet.
Okay. Step.
Door right there. In here is our water heaters, all of our controls for leveling the truck, our generator controls. We do have a small pump to the left there to boost the pressure for the water, for the fresh water if we need to.
Yeah.
Then all your electric controls, all that stuff is in here and out of the
So it's almost like its own little mini pump panel.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is slick. Absolutely slick. You know, hazmat is definitely a skill that not many people do. We get hazmat awareness at the basic level, but when you're talking, you know, you get into some serious stuff, you need to be able to decon correctly.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to have long-term effects.
Yep.
And, you know, it's very important to have these kind of vehicles. And again, I've never seen a hazmat truck like this before. I've seen the trailers, I've seen FEMA stuff, but at a local level, absolutely amazing. It's really, really cool. I think more people should do this. You know, maybe if it doesn't have to be everybody, you know, every fire station, it's definitely a unique vehicle. But if you don't have one in your county, at least, you need to get one.
Yeah, definitely.
So can we walk through?
Sure.
So I like the fact that it's got graded stairs. It makes it easy, and a handrail, because if you're getting decon, you're getting all wet, you don't want to slip.
Absolutely.
This thing is amazing. I had no idea it was like this. You got the shower curtain, so you have 3 or 4 individuals. 1, 2, 3 individual places to actually shower. Drains are in the floor. Here's that chute you're talking about to drop my gear for the laundry chute. And I don't even know what to say. It's cool.
Yeah. So it's set up, the way we have it set up is like a tiered decon approach. So if somebody needs to get decons and they're not washing themselves, what we'll do is we'll have decon people in here suited up on air. They'll come into this station, they'll have a bucket with a decontamination solution in them, scrub them down, then they have 2 rinse stations. So you go from one station to the next to the next.
Okay, so that explains the brush versus the shower head.
Correct.
Okay.
We also have the capabilities where if somebody doesn't need us to do it, if they just need to get there in their decon, they can just go ahead and basically take a shower.
Right. And hazmat, we've done some hazmat trucks. We've done a nuclear response hazmat truck. We've done an actual fire company that does nothing but hazmat, but they don't talk much about the decon process. And that's just as involved, if not more involved, than the actual process of going to determine what the problem was.
Absolutely.
But to have a truck like this is really, really special.
Absolutely. I mean, we've gone a lot of places with our decon operation. Like I said, this is a new truck, so it hasn't been many places yet. But with our trailer, we've been to like chemical suicides where they need the body washed before they can take it.
Yeah.
We're going to wash the body to get all the contaminants off them. And we've had like state troopers, their dogs get into a situation where they get covered in something. We're helping wash the dog. So it's a little bit of everything and all encompassing.
Right. So we would come up here, we'd go through station to station. Here, wash it down, step up to the next station.
Yep.
This is where we kind of rinse off. I love the fact that it's got a handle so I can get in those cracks and crevices that you need to. Plus, you got a regular shower head.
Yep.
And then we're going to go one more rinse off from here.
Yep.
Make sure everything's clean. We've now got all the soap removed. We're all clean at this moment in time. And then we make our way through to the front of it. And this is where I assume you have gowns and stuff for people?
Yep. So we'll have gowns, towels, everything like that. Usually we put them in just the cheap Tyvek suits.
Yep.
Put them in something, get them out. When they come out of here, we're also going to pH them, take the pH paper, see if they're neutral. If they're not, they're heading back in.
Yep.
But if they're pH neutral, you're good to go, and they can start getting dressed.
Right. The other thing I noticed is you have a thermostat, so you have air conditioning and heat.
Correct.
Above and beyond. Again, getting out of the elements it's really a private moment. You're trying to get clean.
Yeah. So we have 3 rooftop units, 2 in the shower area, 1 in the crew area or the dressing area, and those are run off the generator, so we can temperature control this climate. We also have a 3rd one, that black box mounted behind there. That's when the truck's running, that's running.
Okay.
So if there's people back here, we
Yep.
have these 2 seats. They're not just sitting in a baking oven. They've got air conditioning.
Sure, because up front is just a standard cab. You got 2 seats, but you're going to bring a crew.
Yep.
You got to have a place to sit.
Yep. So we have 2 seats, seat belts, seat alarms, all that fun stuff. We also have headsets for them so they can communicate with the front of the truck.
Right.
Underneath both these seats, there's storage. Like I said, it's a new truck. We're still adding stuff onto it. Above here, these are the marker board material,
yep.
so we can write on all these doors if we need to.
So whether their name, you know, who they're with, what unit, because you're basically stripping them of everything they got.
Yep.
Maybe even put where their belongings and what belonging bag they have.
Exactly.
You know, it's that ICS that we've all trained on.
Yep.
100, 800, 200.
Yep,
you know,
all the hundreds. So a couple of them are still empty. Like I said, we're still adding stuff to it. Shampoos,
sanitizer.
Over here in this compartment, we have the pappers. So depending on the level of hazmat we're dealing with, depends on what our breathing apparatus is going to be.
Sure.
So if it's serious enough, we're wearing SCBAs, full SCBAs, to get that pure compressed air instead of trying to filter out the air around you. So if it's a lower level, we have the pappers. It's just a mask with a filter that goes around your hip. It filters out the air around you.
Right.
And for the higher level, we have the SCBAs to be completely confined.
Right. Now, I'm going to kind of throw it back a little bit. So there's a lot of controversy about COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But when COVID first hit, you know, we were doing a lot of this stuff and had no way to take care of these patients.
Yep.
This is an awesome way to take care of a COVID patient. If, God forbid, another pandemic were to happen, you guys are set and ready to go.
Yeah, thinking outside the box. If we can use it for something it's not completely intended for, but we can use it for that, hey, why not?
Yeah, yeah. We'll make our way back out and finish this up.
Awesome.
Steve, this is very cool. Now, we didn't put the step down. That's why we kind of jumped out of that one. But that's all right. You're 6'2", 6'3", and you stood up in that with no problems.
I was on the committee that designed it, and that was one of my things. I had to be able to stand up in it.
Yeah, because even a lot of the motorhomes that I've been in, I'm trying to get a shower like this.
Yep.
So this is really cool. Hazmat is definitely a unique field, and decon is its own thing. And I think if people realize these kind of trucks are out there and they're very useful for what they need to be, you're going to see more of these going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
About how many calls do you get per year using a truck like this, or the trailer, whatever you used to have?
So I would say probably about 20, 25 calls a year. Now, keep in mind, we are it for this county, for Kent County. We also run dual response with Newcastle and Sussex County.
Okay.
So basically, if there's a need for a decon unit in the whole state of Delaware, we're going.
Okay. Well, and sometimes that's all you need, but you have it.
Yep.
I can't tell you that Pennsylvania has one. You know, so I hopefully in the future, if you're in Pennsylvania and you're watching this, or you're in any other state that doesn't have this, take a look at this a little bit further, call these guys up, talk about it. It's something that you probably should get. Once again, thank you so much, Steve.
No problem. Thanks for
coming
coming
taking
down.
it around. This is a hazmat truck, decon, that's very unusual. Never seen it before. Thank you all for watching. This was Station Rigs with Little Creek Fire Department. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe, hit that notification, smash those like buttons, and make some comments below. Do you think this is a useful tool? We'd like to hear about it. Until next time, stay safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you again next week.